Hello everyone, my name is Michelle and I have a YouTube channel called College Buddy. And in today's video, guys, I'm going to be sharing what my experience was like when I started college. And what prompted me to even do this video is because I read a comment or a review for a local university in my area. And I noticed that the person seemed pretty dissatisfied with their experience at the college they attended. And normally I'd want to kind of deep dive into that particular review and everything and kind of unpack everything. But I feel like it's important for me to build my experience with you guys, kind of demonstrate my experience as far as college is concerned first. And then what I'm going to be doing is that after I've like laid the foundation for my college experiences and stuff like that with you guys, then I will go back to like giving tips, tricks, and advice and things like that. It really depends on how I feel. So I'm going to talk about my experience of starting college. This is experience that you're probably not going to hear anybody else talk about on YouTube or anything. So I'm just going to give you my raw experience here of what it was like when I started college. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So when I got my college acceptance letter to Webster University, I was accepted on a conditional basis. Being accepted as a conditional student means that unlike other students, I would have to take some college preparatory classes as a part of a program my first semester and pass them with good grades before I could achieve the status of a full-time student in college. The reason I was accepted on the conditional basis was because I only achieved an ACT score of 17. I think I would have achieved a better ACT score if I was better at taking standardized tests and if I had participated in ACT preparatory classes prior to taking the ACT my first time. Okay, so I do want to give a little context to what it means to be a full-time student in college. Okay, so in college, when you're a full-time student, that means you're taking a full course load. So that means every day from Monday through Friday, you're taking classes in college. Okay, so your classes, most of the time from my experience in being in college, my classes were 3 credit hours, or what people may say are 3 units a piece. Some of my classes were 4 credit hours, or what some colleges will say is like 4 units and stuff. If you like want to know what like credit hours are and units and for classes are, then when you get to college, you would talk to an academic advisor. In college, there are different types of advisors that you have. So you have an academic advisor. This is somebody who you're going to go to when it comes to registering for your classes, or if you have to withdraw from a class in college or whatnot. Anything pertaining to like the classes as far as your major or minor is concerned in college, you're going to go to your academic advisor. Okay. You'll also go if you're going to be like dropping your class or whatever too. Okay. You also are going to have an advisor, which is a financial advisor. So this is going to be somebody who basically can tell you about the type of financial aid that you have. So they can tell you how much money you have in scholarships, how much money you have as far as your Pell Grant or your FAFSA is concerned. Okay. They're going to be the people you're going to go to when it comes to like funding your classes, okay? And they're going to be able to help with that. They would also be the people who you talk to if you're trying to explore like some scholarships as far as your classes are concerned. Now, there is another advisor. So sometimes at colleges and universities, there will be admissions advisors. So these are going to be these are the people you would talk to at college fairs, okay? And these are people who, when you go up to the booth, they're going to have information about the college that you're interested in attending. So they're going to have like the college brochures, they'll have the college swag, like the college pins and the stress balls and the little like mascot stuff, the college flags, maybe even the college t-shirts and stuff like that too. So they may have all that stuff. So they have like the freebies and stuff like that and stuff. And they can answer like preliminary questions that you're gonna have as far as the college or university that you're gonna be going to. So those are those people, right? And all your advisors are going to be different people. The admissions advisor, they're your first point in contact with a college. Okay, these are the people who can also point you in the right direction as far as getting a college tour set up is too. Okay, and like I said, I didn't plan to go deep into this, but it just like reading my experience just kind of jump started me into like talking about this stuff with you guys. Okay. And there is a such thing as you being a part-time student in college. So if you take classes under the full-time student threshold, so if you take like less than 13 credit hours or 13 units, and this depends on the college because different colleges are going to have different amounts of units that you have to maintain as a full-time student, and then different amounts of credits that you can maintain if you're going to be a part-time student. So part-time students could be people, let's say you have a job or something that you have to work. Let's say you work a full-time job, okay? Meaning you work a job Monday through Friday, okay, 40 hours a week, okay? And you might take some part-time classes. So you may take some classes on the weekends, you may take some night classes or whatever too, okay? So if you're a part-time student, you're not going to be on campus all that often. You may be on campus a couple nights a week if you're taking nighttime classes, or you could be on campus if you're taking like some weekend classes, okay? And your college program that you're taking, so your major is going to determine the types of classes that you're going to be taking. If you're somebody who's taking up a certificate toward a sort of program, then that's going to determine the type of classes you're going to take. And in that program, you may have like, a few classes that you take in order to achieve a program. A certificate. So a certificate is not going to be the same as your achieving a bachelor's degree or a 4-year degree. And your bachelor's degree, you could take up a bachelor's of arts or a bachelor's of science. It really depends on the type of bachelor's programs that your college has. So these are what the 4-year programs are called, okay, or your bachelor's. Now your master's, that's going to be after you've achieved your bachelor's degree or the 4-year college program, right? Whether you've achieved your BA, your bachelor's of arts, or your bachelor's of science, right? Then you would take additional college, but this time you'll be in the more you'll be in the master's program. So it could be for a couple of years after you graduate from college and stuff. It could be that. Now you could go into a grad school program. That's if you're trying to get like, your maybe your doctorate or a PhD or something like that. Then you would do like more grad school, and that's like years more of college. All right. So there's a lot that goes into college. When I first went to college, I didn't really know too much about this. Definitely when I was in high school, I didn't know any of this stuff. I had no idea. Even though there was a high school counselor at my school that would set up assemblies where people would come in and talk to us about how we should go to college and how we could be successful if we go to college and all that, we weren't told that in high school. We weren't. And I talked to a young man some years back that was in high school, and he felt like the information that his high school counselor or college counselor was providing for him, he thought that the counselor was going to provide him all the information he needed to know about college. But the unfortunate thing that he didn't know, and a lot of you listening, if you're in high school, probably don't know, and even if you're not in high school, let's say you just have a high school diploma and you've been working. Once you graduate from high school, you no longer have that high school counselor to be there to guide you as far as college is concerned. I know that the high school counselors They do make sure that you achieve, they make sure you're registered for classes needed to satisfy the requirements for many colleges. So, you have to take a certain amount of math classes and history classes and science classes and writing or English classes, maybe foreign language classes, business classes or whatever. They make sure you get the basic amount of classes needed to satisfy many college requirements. However, after you've walked across that stage of your high school graduation, the high school counselor is not there when you have any issues in college. They're not there anymore. You can call them and reach out to them, but they're not going to be able to help you. They're going to direct you to the college that you go to, and you might be lost about, what advisor you're supposed to go to if you're encountering some kind of issue or problem when you're in college. And I think this is the biggest shock when it comes to college. There's so much that goes into it, so much more that I can go into in this video. But there is a lot, there really is a lot. And just in case you guys didn't know, the top comment from Jay that was posted a month ago, that kind of prompted me to want to share my experience about starting what it was like when I started my college program. Because in the comment, Jay talks about how Jay essentially, took up a couple of college programs, and Jay talked about what it was like to start in the MP program. And so that kind of led me to be like, hey, let me share my experience on what it was like for me to start my college program. Okay. And many of you may not know when it comes to college that, you may be accepted on the conditional basis for college. Okay. Many of you may not know that, and it's kind of like you're accepted, but it's like you're on a probationary period in college. Okay. So you made it in, but you still have to prove to the college that you deserve full acceptance. Okay. If that makes sense. And I don't think many people on YouTube are talking about this or mentioning or saying anything about this. Some of you guys may feel like, if you can't, be a full-time student in college, you can go to the community college and stuff. And, I might even review some look at some community college reviews in my area and kind of get some ideas. I'd like to share some of my experience with you guys as well. As far as the ACT score is concerned, yeah, I scored a 17. Hey, it is what it is. Thing about the ACT is that after you've been accepted into college, like literally after your first year of college, like at a university or and there's different types of universities out there too. After a year of college, your ACT score no longer applies anymore. It no longer does. What applies is your college coursework or your classes that you've taken and the grades that you've achieved in those classes. So the ACT is no longer relevant anymore. So by the time I got to my first year of college, I learned that the ACT doesn't matter anymore. Like if I wanted to go and transfer to another college or something like that, which I didn't, I found that the ACT was no longer applicable anymore. Okay. Alrighty guys, so I know there was a lot that I kind of dumped into this video that I didn't really plan on putting in here, but I think this is going to be super helpful for those of you guys who want to know this information. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen, and I hope it helps you guys as you get your start in college. And should I have to, I will be, and I'm talking about my college experience, like in these videos and stuff, like this one and the previous video. If you guys haven't, I did a video on why I chose to major in business in college. So you guys can definitely check that out. I'll put that in the description below. I'll put that in the comments on the video, so you guys can kind of check that out if you want to, or the description. It really depends. I'll put it in both, so you guys can check out that video and watch it too, so that can be helpful for you as well. And in case you guys are curious about where I am professionally, I do work in the financial industry in a full-time role with a large bank that I work for. I've been doing that for a while, and I think it's pretty cool, you know. And there were some kids from that were from my high school that came for a career day, and I ended up talking to them, and I found that to be so cool that I decided that I, wanted to start sharing my experience on YouTube. And I feel like that'll give my videos more weight as I share my experience, because then you guys will be like, oh, she does know about college. She's not just somebody just randomly talking about college. She actually has experience. You know what I mean? So thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate you, and bye-bye. Until my next video. Bye.